German cooperation with the Finns being more of a the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and a convenience at that time. In northern Finland, a lot of German units operated. The German Wehrmacht army, the 7th Gebirgsdivision, which was a German mountain division, operated in northern Finland, and their objective was to essentially capture the city of Petsamo and eventually cut off the Murmansk Railway to prevent Soviet supplies from pouring into Finland. Well, several Finnish units were a part of that German unit, and so were subservient to them and followed their orders. I represent von Rikia, second lieutenant of the 7th Raha Yakari, or border Jägers, which were subservient to German units and operated with the Germans into an area of northern Finland pushing towards Petsamo. One little interesting kind of souvenir from this time period is the Petsamo Rovaniemi badge, and it was available to German and Finnish soldiers who participated in the march from Rovaniemi to Petsamo as an effort to capture cut off the Murmansk Railway. And so the Germans were very big into this idea of Waffenbruderschaft, our brothers in arms. Well, unfortunately, with the end of the war against the Soviets, the Allied Control Commission, mostly run by the Soviets in that time period, or in that area, put very heavy restrictions on Finland. Essentially, strong reparations and conditions that needed to be met. And one of those things was to expel all Germans out of Finland. In the southern, and it must have been done by October 27th. Well, in the southern part of Finland, where the German units were, most of the units had been wiped out, so very few needed to be evacuated. But within northern Finland, the Germans had 250,000 troops there, as well as many large pieces of equipment, tanks, trucks, ships, airplanes. And so the Finns were given until the 27th to make sure that the Germans would evacuate completely out of Finland. And the Soviets said, if this is not done by that time period and you do not get them to leave Finland, we will come and assist you. Well, as we know in modern history and context after World War II, when the Soviet Union says they're coming to assist you, that means they're coming to stay. And so the Finns, fearing the Soviet occupation, strongly pushed towards their former German allies to say, you need to leave, please, you need to leave. And so there was a period of time where the Soviets were pushing, you need to engage in open combat with the Finns, or with the Germans. And the Finns and the Germans essentially had the agreement of, please leave, and kind of a phony war, in a sense of, oh, we're doing our best to get them out of our country. Well, when October 27th came, the Lapland War started, and that was active open combat against German units. And during this time, the Germans were so offended by the people that they believed in with Waffenbruderschaft, they essentially committed a scorched earth campaign on the northern parts of Finland. And even today, older Finns in the northern part of Finland do not forget the German campaign at that time. So the Finns engaged the Germans as they retreated into Norway to retreat and withdraw their supplies. Most Laplanders in that area in northern Finland were evacuated to Sweden so they would not continue to have civilian casualties. Unfortunately, with the end of the Lapland War, there was a total of 2,000 Finnish dead for only 650 German dead. Again, one of the harsh parts of the treaty that the Soviets placed on the Finns. And again, the end and the last conflict that the Finns had. Although the scars of the wars were left in Finland, demining operations in the Lapland region continued well on into the 70s. So, but that is the end of the Finnish war chapter.